Hey guys, it's Maz here. Today I'm talking about a little bit of Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, basic deck builds for you. For those of you that are beginners to start in the game, trying to find a deck to build with the basic cards might seem a little overwhelming. So I made a couple videos here with each of the classes to show you some of my basic deck builds and exactly how to use them and why each card is valuable in the deck. In this particular video, I'm talking about the rogues. This is my basic rogue deck. Now the first card here is Backstab. It's pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't cost anything, so you can use it any turn. Deals 2 damage to an undamaged minion. Um, Not really much I need to tell you on that effect. You can take out an enemy pretty quick, beginning of the game or late in the game with that card without having to sacrifice any points for another card. The second card here is Deadly Poison. Deadly Poison gives your weapon 2+ attack, and as you can see here, I only have the Assassin's Blade here. I don't really carry too many weapons with the Rogue. I only carry Assassin's Blade because it has 4 durability. I carry a couple of those. Carrying a lot of weapons for me, it tends to get me in trouble because I start attacking too many characters and I take too much damage, and then I'm easily taken out by a variety of different cards, especially if you're playing somebody that does a lot of damage like a mage. So I tend to stay away from the weapons unless absolutely necessary. Down here I have Sap, return an enemy minion to your opponent's hand. Not really the biggest fan of this card, that's why I only put one of them in the deck. With Sap, I mainly use it as kind of an emergency where you really have no choice but to use it to buy yourself another turn for another card in the deck. And that's exactly what I use it for. I don't really use it for anything other than that. Then down here I have Shiv, deal 1 damage. Basically just a draw card, but it could definitely help you in some cases where you need to deal 1 extra damage to take out a minion. Or for Murloc decks it's pretty effective by eliminating one of the minions and giving you a draw. Down here I have Acidic Swamp Ooze. The reason I use this is a lot of the times you run against other characters that have a lot of weapons, which, like I said, I'm not a big fan of. But you'll go against warriors or rogues, and it's very effective in taking out their weapons right off the bat, especially if you're going against a Lord Jaraxxus late game. It's nice to keep that in your pocket. If you're playing somebody like a mage that you know doesn't have any weapons, it's probably better for you to play that as soon as possible. Down here I have Cabal Geomancer. I basically use that extra spell damage with these for the Fans of Knives and some of the other cards like Shiv up here to give it the extra damage, and same thing with Backstab too. So instead of doing 2, it'll do 3 damage. The Shiv will do 2 damage. Fan of Knives will do 2 damage to all enemy minions. And if you get multiple of these guys out there, you can do quite a bit of damage with these spell cards. Delirium Mage is pretty much the same concept as the Cabal Geomancer, except it has more health, so probably stays on the board a little longer, a little harder to take out for your opponent. Magi, same exact thing. More attack power than Delirium Mage, so when it hits the board, more likely for them to try to take that out right off the bat. But it's more of a formidable opponent, so you can throw that out there a little more confidently. Senjin, pretty vanilla, has taunt. Helps you keep the focus off of your character and some of the other minions that you might lay out, like the ones here that have the extra spell power. Assassin's Blade down here, which I've gone over. I try to keep that until I draw one of these Deadly Poisons so I can do extra damage. But if you need to take out some minions with 3 health, by all means use that. Assassinate here, pretty simple. Destroy an enemy minion. I try not to use that until late game unless they pretty much flood the board with a bunch of big minions and one with taunt. I definitely try to use that until maybe like turn 7 or 8 and take out one of their bigger minions in the deck. Booty Bay Bodyguard is another one of those cards that's pretty vanilla, but it has taunt and it helps you maintain focus, keep them off of your characters. Berserker here, it's just one of those cards that you put on the board. Honestly, it's kind of a sacrifice card for me. Chances are they won't attack it with one of their smaller minions, and they'll probably put a lot of focus on it and try to take that card off of the board. So they usually waste 2 or 3 cards to take it off the board or one of their big minions, which I really like. So I throw those kind of in there as bait. and even if it doesn't last bait, you can use it to take out smaller minions and gain attack power. To just kind of be a nuisance on the board. Archmage here, that one is same thing as the other guys. Ogre Magi, Learn Mage, Cabal Geomancer adds the extra spell damage, but the 7 health definitely helps. It's a lot harder to take this guy off of the board. Lord of the Arena down here is another one of those vanilla cards. Pretty much, you know, basic stats. Has taunt there, definitely helps you late game. They're going to try to take that guy right off the board, off the bat. I just have one of those in the deck. And then at the bottom here, Sprint. Sprint, not the biggest fan of Sprint because of the high cost, but there's some times where you'll run into a situation where you don't really have anything to play at the moment and you need to draw those 4 cards. Maybe early in the game you have nothing but high cost cards. I mean late game you have nothing but something that you can't play and you need to play Sprint. So this deck is probably, out of all the ones that I built with the basics, probably impressed me the most. I was really surprised. I won 8 out of 10 games. I think I won 6 in a row with this deck. And I was pretty surprised at how well I did with this deck. So something to keep an eye on. But thank you for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos about the other basic decks.